in terms of plant health here, in my term of plant health, including plant protection, plant quarantine, and pesticides regulation and application. Through this definition, we can say plant health play a very important role in nowadays sustainable development of agriculture. And the first, contributing to food security and poverty reduction. And the second, contributed to safe and efficient trade. And the third, and contributed to biosecurity and trade facilitation. And lastly, contributed to food safety. So plant health is very important in nowadays sustainable development of agriculture. And because of this important responsibility and missions, plant health have very closely related to FAO strategic objective. All the 5 objectives, I think, are closely related. However, direct contribution to 4 SOs, SO1, SO2, SO4, and SO5. Similarly, plant health have closely related to UN SDG goals. Similarly, plant health is closely related to UN Sustainable Development Goal for 2030 agendas. And plant health and closely related to about 7, closely directly contribute to 7 SDG goals. And we can see in the 4 areas. The first 4 contribute to food security and poverty reduction. This is related to SDG 1 and SDG 2. And the second related to safe and efficient trade. This is related to SDG 8 and SDG 17. And the third contributed to biosecurity and the environment protection. This is related to SDG 13 and SDG 15. And lastly, contributed to food safety. This is related SDG number 12. So plant health is widely close related with SDG, FAO 5 strategic plan objective, and 7 SDG for 2030 agendas. The themes of today's side events is plant health essential role in eradicating poverty and hunger. And because of this issue is closely related to food security, plant health have very great contribution and has a direct contribution to food security and in 4 dimensions. First, contributing to food availability by preventing crop losses from pest damage. And secondly, contributing to food accessibility by setting up standards and implementation of standards. And the third, contributing to food affordability by increasing farmers' income through decreasing pest yield losses and increased agriculture trade. And then lastly, contributed to food safety by reducing pesticide residues through well management of pesticides or implementation of IPM. Because of this important contribution of plant health to food security, so this year we organize the side events and during the CFS. The objective of this side events is to use CFS, the platform and the mechanism, to increase awareness of how important of plant health to contribute to food security. We can see that, and we invite 5 speakers, and then they demonstrate and a different point of view of plant health contribute to plant health, to food security at the region and global, regional, and national level. And all the speakers mentioned something from plant health, the point of view of plant health in government's perspective, and how the government is responsible to promote plant health and then to ensure food security. And secondly, and we have some speaker make this presentation in technical point of view, and we use this research result, technical tool to show how the contribute of plant health to food security, and use different case study and regional initiative. And then lastly, we demonstrate how important, we demonstrate the perspective of regulation for plant health contribute to food security, and mainly by setting up international standard for phytosanitary measurements, and also for implementation of a standard. So through this kinds of output and organization, I can see that people can get a good idea, and for stakeholder, and also for policy makers and social media can realize how important of plant health to contribute to food security, and thus and help in eradication of poverty and zero hungers.